Hello, my name is Malia. I'm with Phoenix LTC and StatSafe Technical Support. Today we're going to talk about discrepancy tracking as well as diversion tracking. We'll start by looking at the portal. A discrepancy is anything that happens within a cart that the cart isn't expecting. It's something that they do at the user level in the carts that differentiates from what the portal thinks the cart should have in inventory. One of the easiest ways to look at the discrepancies within your cart is to start at the alerts feature here in the portal. You'll see we have 4 different options, and one of them is discrepancies. The discrepancies feature shows you all of the current discrepancies that you have within your cart. So within these items, these are all occurrences that happened in the cart that the inventory entered by the user was different from the inventory that the portal was expecting. You can look at all of your carts at once, or we can drill down and look at just one cart at a time. So here you will see all the discrepancies that have been created and are active within the Phoenix LTC cart. You're going to see that we have acetaminophen. They were expecting 25, but the nurse who pulled the item only entered that there was 1. This is a common mistake when discrepancies are created because a nurse goes in and they enter how many they're actually pulling. So they pull 1, and instead of doing the blind count, they enter 1 as the count, when they really should have entered 25. Again, you can see all the different discrepancies that were created whenever a number was entered that was different than what the inventory expected. Again, you'll see on April 16th, it expected 30 of this monoculist, and the nurse entered 1, more than likely the amount they were pulling. All of these affect your current inventory in the cart because the verified number is now entered as the current inventory in the cart. So the system now believes that this monoculist either only has 1 or has been fully dispensed and is no longer available in the cart because of the discrepancy created by the nurse. So it's very important to always keep an eye on your discrepancies and have a policy to make sure that you are clearing them and that somebody is addressing these at the facility level. Now, discrepancies can only be cleared at the facility level. So they cannot be cleared within the portal or by the pharmacy user. Discrepancies have to be cleared at the cart level. One place you can look at your discrepancies is in the actual cart reports. You can click on the View Discrepancies Report by Cart, and we can choose a date range, and we can look at all of the discrepancies that have occurred in the cart during this date range. So in this case, you can see there was a discrepancy created on April 1st for Excedrin, but there's a resolved reason in here. So resolved is where the nurse or supervisor nurse has gone in and cleared out the discrepancy, and they give a reason why. It was miscounted at the last pull. So the nurse who pulled it the last time miscounted it. The supervisor went in, they corrected the count, and therefore reinstored the inventory to the correct amount. You can see this aspirin was resolved, the nurse miscounted it. The monoculist and the Advil have not been resolved yet in the cart. So let's take a look and see what that looks like at the cart level whenever the user clears the discrepancy. Once logged into the cart, this is where a supervisor can now see and clear the discrepancies within their cart. And this is the only place that you can clear a discrepancy. The supervisor will log into the cart. They will select View Discrepancies, and from here they will see the discrepancies currently in the cart. They'll click on the item to resolve it. You can see on April 16th, this monoculist was pulled. They were expecting 30, and the actual count was 1. You'll choose Resolve next to the word Discrepancies. And then I find the item, the drawer opens, I take the item out, I enter the PIN, I hit enter, and now I confirm the quantity. So now I recount this item, and I see that yes, there were 30. They pulled one the other day. There are 29 of this item remaining. I enter 29, I select check, and I hit finish. Now it does ask me for a reason. So I will put the reason in here. Nurse entered the amount pulled instead of the inventory. Instead of current inventory. And I hit OK. So now that note is there, and now it has been cleared. The same on this Advil. It was created on April 16th. They expected 9. The actual count was 7. Now, since then, one more has been pulled from the cart. So I'm going to find the item. The drawer is going to open. I'm going to enter the PIN on the item. I now enter the quantity. I count them. There are 8 of them. I put the check mark and I hit finish. Again, they need a reason. Nurse miscounted on the last fill. And I hit OK. So now there are no more discrepancies in the cart. You will also see that the discrepancies have cleared from within the cart and are no longer there. Once the discrepancies are all cleared, they do not appear until another discrepancy is in the cart. So this is how they clear the discrepancies at the facility within the cart. Having a policy with your facilities to clear and manage the discrepancies is one of the best ways to make sure that your inventory is accurate within the portal and that there aren't any differences between what the portal expects and what the cart has said is there. So one of the easy ways to do this is to go to the pharmacy over here in the navigation bar, and we have an auto report for discrepancies. You can select the discrepancies auto report. You can send it to yourself. And so I can send it to a main email, and I can send it to myself so that I get it every day. And you can choose the interval. You can choose either daily or immediately. I'm going to choose daily so that every day I receive this report. So from here, I can also create a sub-report. So I can select add a sub-report. I can choose just the cart that I want to have send the discrepancy report. I can give it a name. I can call it the Phoenix LTC report. You can name it whatever you would like, and I can put the recipients in here on who will receive it. So I can send this to the facility managers of this facility so that they receive the information. So I'm going to send it to the director of nursing at phoenixltc.com. So the director of nursing will now receive this report every day. I'm going to send it to them daily. So daily, they'll get a report if there are any discrepancies within the cart. And they'll get that via email, which will notify them that there's something that they need to go clear within the cart. And so you can see that those sub-reports are there. It can be sent directly to the facility. Now, you can also look at pharmacy reports, and under pharmacy reports, you can see the discrepancies created within all of your carts. And there's also a report for audit discrepancies, which will tell you any discrepancies that occur during audits that may need your attention, that something has changed in the inventory. So when you go to view discrepancies, you can pick any date range, you can hit the save button, and it will show you all of the discrepancies in your cart from within a certain date range. You'll see the last 2 that we just cleared. It'll tell you who cleared them, on what day, and the reason that we just entered into the system to say why those were cleared. So the discrepancy report for all carts will show you the discrepancies, if they've been cleared, who cleared them, and why. Now back to your stat saves. If you wanted to look into more information about a certain item, and let's look and see what happened to that monoculist. I can go to the reports. I can select access log by inventory. I'm going to look at all dates just to see the history of this item. And that was card 1B-19. So I'm going to search for that card and I'm going to hit select to look at it. And we can see the history of everything that has happened to this item. Now, you'll see that before there were 30, we removed 1, there were 29 remaining. You can see that the amount was adjusted by the supervisor, and this was where I just went in on the 20th and I cleared the discrepancy. So it shows where I cleared the discrepancy on this item. Now you may also want to know, well, what happened within that drawer during that time if something was off. We can also look at the access log by location. I can select any location. That was drawer 1, row B. So now if I go in and I look to see what happened today, you can also see where we adjusted both of those items in the drawer. You can see when the supervisor was in there, and you can see anybody who has accessed a location for any time. So if you ever want to know what's happened even in a drawer location, you can now go in and you can see everything that happened within that drawer. You can even see when it was manually accessed. So you can see on the 13th, the supervisor manually accessed the location. Just as a note, this only works with our most current versions of software. So please make sure they're updating the software within your StatSafe carts. And you'll be able to see all of this data for every access within your Windows tablets. Let's take a look at the other item that we just corrected the discrepancy on. Let's look at the access log by inventory. I would like to see all dates on this item. And this one was card 1A-1, the Advil. So I'm going to pull up my order history on this one and access log by inventory, and it will tell you everything that has happened. You're going to see that they started to pull an item, but then the order was canceled. You can see that the supervisor then went in and pulled an item, but they also wasted it. So this means that the patient didn't get the item or it wasn't dispensed properly, so they wasted the item. You can see they had 9, they dispensed 1, there was 8 left. You can see here they canceled an item, and then you can see where we went in and we adjusted the item during the discrepancy clear. So again, everything that you do within the cart is tracked and traceable, which really helps with discrepancies and diversion tracking. There are many other reports and tools that you can use, looking at your orders by date, orders by user. I can track my supervisor and I can see what my supervisor has done within the cart. So I can see all of the orders that my supervisor has pulled, which is a great way to track your inventory and see what individual users are doing within the cart. So you can see everything that my supervisor has pulled for different patients within the cart. And I can see their orders they pull each day and see what happens whenever they're in the cart. So lots of different tools that you can use to help track discrepancies and also to help with diversion tracking and make sure that your inventory is accurate within your cart. Please reach out to technical support if you ever have any questions about discrepancies or pulling reports from within your cart. We'll be glad to help you.